Let's get busy, Detroit. I'm Kemarr Brooks, the host of Entrepreneurs of Detroit. Today, we have an exciting show for you. We're here at 1917 American Bistro with the owner and chef extraordinaire, Don Studevent. How you feeling today, man?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for coming down.
Thank you for having us. So, Don, tell me, what made you want to go into the restaurant business?
Well, I fell in love with food. I fell in love with culinary at a very young age. And I love working with food. I love it. And I love cooking and serving. I find myself doing more of the business aspect of it now. But my whole thing is I just love food. I love working with food. And I try to get into the kitchen as much as possible.
All right, how long have you been cooking?
Oh, wow, it's been over 20 years to me. The person that really inspired me, though, to want to be a restaurant owner, actually, a gentleman that owns, his name is Mr. Steve Ratton.
Okay.
And he has Steve Soul Food. I read an article on him when I was 20 years old. It was in Restaurant News Magazine. And the article that I read, I mean, it was so inspiring to me. When I read it, when I seen him do it, I knew that I could do it. And I wanted to do that ever since. So, I've been fortunate enough to actually, bump into a few others that they were interested in being restaurant owners. Okay. So I just try to give them as much information as I can.
So, Don, you say you've been in the culinary arts for about 20 years. What's your favorite dish? You got to have a favorite dish that you enjoy cooking.
Oh, wow. I'm just a straight, total seafood fiend. I love seafood and fresh vegetables. There's nothing like it in the world. I eat all different types of seafood all day long and fresh vegetables.
I mean, you might have to go in the back of the kitchen and whip something up real quick. So on a day-to-day basis, what are some of the challenges you deal with of being a restaurant owner?
Oh, wow. It's a couple of things. Just making sure we stay consistent, making sure that we flow very, very well. But the number one thing is making sure that all of the guests are happy. My goal is to actually shoot for 100% all the time across the board, make sure all of the guests are happy, because those are the ones, that are coming in there, they're spending their money, their hard-earned money. And sometimes we fall a little bit short, but for the most part, we hit it on the nose all the time. Our rate is still high. We're still very, very high. 4.5 to 5 stars, 4 out of 5 stars.
Wow.
So that's a pretty big deal to me.
You thinking about franchising out?
Oh yeah, that's my next goal, is actually open up a few more restaurants here in Metro Detroit.
Be a great look. The thing that I was wondering, where does the 1917 come from?
Well, the 1917, it comes from the property, it sits in the Sherwood Forest subdivision. Okay. Sherwood Forest was established in 1917. I knew that I always wanted a bistro, and I always wanted bistro in the name. So I knew I was going to include the 1917 Bistro, but I needed to do something to make it as neutral as possible. A better way than American. So that's how we came up with 1917 American Bistro.
So Don, tell me, what's the top cuisine in here? Like, if I was coming off the streets, what would you recommend?
That's tough. That's a tough one, because everything that we have, it sells across the board evenly. That's tough. Sometimes some people come in, they tell us that even our burgers are some of the best burgers in town.
I love burgers.
But if I had to pick one, it would be a tie between our incredible crab cakes that we have, our amazing crab cakes, and our blackened catfish.
Wow.
Our blackened catfish. So it would have to be a tie between those two.
So when you're running a business, how many employees does it take to actually keep American Bistro up and running?
Oh, wow. We currently have 13 employees.
Whoa.
We actually got all the way up to 21. And things have been kind of slowing down. We've been but also some of the employees have gone off to school as well. So we have 13 employees right now.
So you being the owner, you being the man in charge, how often do you actually get in the kitchen and whip up a meal?
I'm definitely in the kitchen every Sunday. It's hit or miss throughout the week, because I'm busy down at the Eastern Market grabbing fresh produce, grabbing stock, because we don't have a lot of room for stock. So I pretty much shop daily or every other day. So we move all of our stock, all of our product, and That's a really tough question, man.
You know, I was gonna bring the heat to you.
That's a really tough question. I'll be in the kitchen this evening. I love dinner. I love the dinner time.
Okay.
I love the dinner time.
Now, the theme for the place, I see you have a lot of unique paintings around the walls and everything. What inspired you to do that?
Oh, wow. I love art. All types of art. Art. Everything. Pottery to paints to music. What I do, I let local artists display their work on the walls for free. And I rotate them once a month. Sometimes the people do come in and they buy them right off the wall.
Wow.
But the jazz, we have the jazz in here, and our jazz has been amazing every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday here at the Bistro. It's been amazing. We've had some all-stars come in here and just almost burn down the house.
Wow.
The jazz has just been, you just can't measure it. We had an incident in here, we had a situation here where Martha Reeves came in here and grabbed the microphone. I got caught in the moment. When I say this woman has the most showmanship I've ever seen in any entertainer, oh wow. It was breathtaking. And the musicians that we have in here, they played with, they're A-listers. You can't say enough about them, they're A-listers. And we also have poetry on Wednesdays. So we have a combination of different types of art here, from the poetry to the jazz to the painting.
So Don, tell me, what type of people do you commonly get visiting your establishment?
Oh wow, everyone comes in. Just yesterday, the mayor dined with us. He's a regular here. Everyone. This is a gentleman that comes in regularly. His name is Dietrich Haddon. I knew the name, but I couldn't put a face with the name.
Right.
I just didn't know. We've had everybody. Judge Mathis, Judge Maybelline, Jesse Jackson has dined with us.
All right, folks, we'll see you in a couple minutes right here on Entrepreneurs of Detroit.
Plan to participate in the annual Metro Detroit Youth Day being held Wednesday, July 17th at the Athletic Field in Belle Isle. For more information or to register, contact the Michigan Food and Beverage Association or log on to metrodetroityouthday.com.
Just some quick advice for somebody that's up and coming, they want to be a business owner, they want to go into the restaurant business. What advice do you have for those folks?
Oh, wow. That's another very good question. From what I've learned, it's definitely a mindset. It's different from being an employee to an employer. The employee comes in, start time, finish, in, go home. The employer, the very first person there and the very last person to leave. So he's the person that actually turns the lights on and turns the lights out.
Get it?
So it's a mindset. Everyone is really not cut out to be an entrepreneur. You have to want to do it. It's a mindset. Even when you don't want to do it, you have to make yourself get up and do it. And the reward, prayer and hard work. When has prayer and hard work ever failed any man? You have to. Exactly. You have to plan. You have to plan. Plan. Because without a plan, you plan to fail. So there's three different things right there. Changing your mindset. You have to plan, and you have to put the work in order to get the reward.
All right, quick question. How many people have you had to fire? You being the owner, you probably get some employees coming here late. They, maybe not doing what they're supposed to do. You ever had to fire anybody? And if you have, is that a hard decision to make?
It has always been hard. Always been hard. The very first time I actually had to let someone go, it was very, very hard. I took it personal. But it's not personal, it's just business. And now, to let someone go, it's business. And it's what's best for the business. But it has to be a number of things before you do that. You just can't just let someone go just to be letting them go. It's business. It's never personal. It's just business. And people have to know and understand that, because and even still, when you have very, very good employees, and then we have employees that you have to talk to, and you have to it's unfortunate, they may have to be disciplined. They have to understand that this is very, very serious. This is a lot of people's livelihoods, including mine. And I have a conscience, so I just can't take someone's livelihood away from them. you have to take it serious. This is to pay your bills as well. This is also for you to make a living as well. But if you're not interested in paying your bills and making a living and think that you're just going to undercut everybody else, no. I will, hey, Donald Trump, you're fired.
You hear that, folks? It's not the man to play around with. Come in, do your job, be on time, make it happen. All right, Don, last question. Where can people find more information about 1917 American Bistro?
Oh, wow. Our website, 1917americanbistro.com. We're also on Facebook, and we're also on Twitter. We also do quite a bit of email blasts. But our biggest thing is our website. We try to keep our website updated as much as possible to let people know that, we have pleasurable dining without a hassle. That's what I call it. Pleasurable dining without a hassle. Everything on a menu, you can mix and match and have whatever you want, however you want it. The biggest thing for me, I just want to make sure that people just enjoy the bistro, because here, there are over 1,300 restaurants in Metro Detroit to choose from. And we just want people to know that you have another option.
Like that.
Pleasurable dining without a hassle is what I call it.
All right, folks, you heard it here from the man himself, Don Studevent, 1917 American Bistro. You got to check it out. Thanks for having us.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you, Detroit.
Just got off work, just got paid, ready for the weekend, ready for... Well, meet me at Simply Casual Clothing Store on the historic Avenue of Fashion, Detroit's premier boutique shopping destination for your weekend rendezvous. Ladies, whether it's premium skinny jeans or a French cuff shirt or a hot cocktail dress, so you can flirt. Too much to choose from, clothes galore. Simply Casual is our personal candy store. Gentlemen, picture a conveyor belt that rotates. Choose between 900 dress shirts. Before you choose your date, the flyest blazers, jackets, and jeans. Simply Casual Clothing Store. The hottest fashion playground you've ever seen. Nationally known, locally respected. Simply cool, simply smooth, simply casual. Livernois at Otta Drive. Call 313-864-7979. That's 313-864-7979. Stop by today.
Let's get busy, Detroit. I'm Kemarr Brooks, sitting in the wonderful Simply Casual Clothing Store with my man Rufus Bartell. How you feeling today, sir?
Great. Feeling great.
So, right off the bat, describe what Simply Casual brings to the table in the fashion industry.
Well, we like to think of ourselves as a lifestyle brand. We try to cater to your lifestyle. People who work hard and people who play hard. So they work hard during the day, and at the end of the day, they want to let their hair down, get out and go out for cocktails, or go for a nice play or a great night out in the town. We want to be able to dress them for that occasion. We also want to help people to increase their brand, and part of your brand is the way you look. So we like to cater to people's lifestyle. We got a saying that says, simply cool, simply smooth, simply casual.
I like that.
So that's kind of what we do.
What type of brands do you sell around here?
Well, usually I don't spout out a lot of different brands, but especially they didn't write me a check to help promote them.
You hear that?
But no, we carry the top lines and Joe's, Robert Graham dress shirts, Rock Revival's really hot jeans for men now. Of course, Met. We carry a really, really hot kind of Nouveau Riche kind of line. When I say Nouveau Riche, I'm borrowing one of my friends' designs of his line, but it's a company called Nuvola, out of California, which is a real funky interpretation of a night out on the town. We carry Betty Page, which is in my opinion, one of the top dressmakers. So we carry a wide variety of offerings in designer goods.
So what made you want to get into the fashion industry, and how long have you been in the fashion industry?
Been in the garment industry for over 20 years. It's a passion that I had since I was very young in high school, and one of the things we had to do in order to graduate, I went to McKenzie High School, is that you had to write a business plan and some of the things that you wanted to do. And one of the things I wanted to do always was be a clothing store owner, because I have a passion for it. And I think that, the ability to be able to change the person's look, to impact what they're doing, and just the creative juices that you're able to utilize with being in the garment industry. Of course, it's a sexy business, beautiful people, beautiful clothes. So it has all the trappings of the kind of lifestyle that I always wanted for myself.
You got to introduce me to some of those models. This is my first time in the store, and I looked around and I see you have a very unique setup. I mean, you got the chess table right here. Great furniture I could use for my crib. What did you get like the inspiration to design Simply Casual?
I always like timeless looks. French Provençal, if you know, I have French Provençal council chairs. I've always loved French Provençal, and it's a timeless look. Borrowed the color schemes. This color scheme was done purposely, the green, the red, the platinum and the black. Black obviously for profitability, the green for the color of money.
I like that.
Red is the passion, and then the platinum is kind of for the taste. So if you look around the store, we tried to plan out the store and with the customer in mind. We want a person to be able to come to the store, and if they're tired, to have a seat. So we built this living room for them, as well as a bar over in the corner. So if a person wants a drink, or a person wants some water, we can offer them. We want to enhance the shopping experience. So we gave great detail to how we designed and laid out the store.
What's your take on customer service, Rufus? Like, how do you feel about customer service?
Customer service, it's a psychology to customer service. You got to, first of all, make a person feel comfortable to spend their money. I mean, their hard-earned money. Obviously, customer service goes a long way when the sales staff is able to put that person at ease, to pay attention to what the customer is asking for, to set the kind of environment that the customer want to shop in. Customer service is not only handling the person properly, but having them come to a proper environment where they can be serviced. Oftentimes, people don't understand the impact on the psychological factors as it relates to customer service. And one of the things the customers want is they want a clean, spacious place. They want a place that looks good and smells good. I think that's very, very important. All those kind of idiosyncrasies add up to great customer service. Then have offerings. And one of the things we like to do here at Simply Casual, if somebody asks something that we don't have, we make it a policy to be able to refer them to another store. We try to refer them to a store close by, and then if there's not something close by that they have, we try to make that, give them a qualified lead. And oftentimes once you do that, people understand that, well, if you send somebody to another store, once they become their customer, well, they have the opportunity to do that anyway.
Right.
What people have a tendency of doing, when you give somebody some good information, they tend to come back to the source of the information. So that has worked well for us throughout the years that we've been in business. So great customer coverage is paying attention to that customer.
What are some of the things that stresses Rufus Bartell out?
Well, sometimes, people don't understand in retail, sometimes you have to fire a customer.
Oh.
And that sometimes, every now and then, you have a person that's so unreasonable that you cannot service them. And that's kind of a big pet peeve, because oftentimes they come in and they want the sun, moon, and the stars, and they don't want to pay for the service. And they feel as though that you owe them more than the service that you give them. And we're always going to go above and beyond the call of duty in terms of servicing that person. But what people don't know, that some customers just need to be fired. Some people, you just don't need their business because they are an evil person. And you got to be able to understand the difference between a person who's very particular and a person who's coming here to ruin your day. Those kind of things are pet peeves, and I have a lot of pet peeves, but I don't need to air them all in this interview. But for the most part, I love the business that I'm in, and I'm looking to continue to grow and learn in the business.
Hey, you hear that? That's what I like to hear. I just want to go somewhere and fire the customer. Get out of here, take your pink slip, and get to walking. Oh, hey, we'll be right back with more Entrepreneurs of Detroit.
Just got off work, just got paid, ready for the weekend, ready for... Well, meet me at Simply Casual Clothing Store on the historic Avenue of Fashion, Detroit's premier boutique shopping destination for your weekend rendezvous. Ladies, whether it's premium skinny jeans or a French cuff shirt or a hot cocktail dress, so you can flirt. Too much to choose from, clothes galore. Simply Casual is our personal candy store. Gentlemen, picture a conveyor belt that rotates. Choose between 900 dress shirts. Before you choose your date, the flyest blazers, jackets, and jeans. Simply Casual Clothing Store. The hottest fashion playground you've ever seen. Nationally known, locally respected. Simply cool, simply smooth, simply casual. Livernois at Otta Drive. Call 313-864-7979. That's 313-864-7979. Stop by today.
Just a couple more questions. What advice would you give to an entrepreneur trying to get into the garment industry?
First thing I would say is, follow your passion and do all the homework you can beforehand. Because one thing about the garment industry, there's so many ways to make mistakes and there's so many ways to lose money. This business is the easiest, most difficult business I've ever been associated with. It looks easy, but it's very complex because things constantly move. You got all these spinning plates that you got to be able to pay attention to, and I would tell a person, regardless if they're in the fashion or garment business or any business for that matter, is that it all comes down to who you are at the core. Knowing what your strengths are, knowing what your weaknesses are, and the one thing that you're going to have in common with everything that you do is you. So know who you are at the core. Know what your temperament is for risk. And if you can stand risk and if you can stand to be able to handle the ebb and flow and the ups and downs of the marketplace, it's a fascinating global business to be in. And this business, I've had the opportunity to do a lot of extensive traveling, and I've met people from all walks of life. And one thing about clothing stores, you never know who walks into your door. And between food, clothing, and shelter, and I kind of travel in those three lanes, is something that we all got to have, and it's a fascinating business. But I would say, don't get in it for the glitz and glamour. Understand the business behind the business, because the garment business is exactly that. It has a front, and then behind that front, it's a global business. You got to understand, and every mistake is a money mistake. Not buying right, buying the wrong thing, getting sold the wrong thing, taking in the wrong shipments. How you going to finance the clothes on the floor? Are you paying cash, or do you have terms? All these different things are going to come into play. So, but the beauty of this business is that when there's nobody in the store, you can work on your craft. You can read, you can get on the internet, you can do study the people who've done it before you, because it doesn't take a lot of traffic to generate cash flow.
You hear that, folks? He said, understand the business behind the business. Final question. Where can people find more information out about Simply Casual Clothing Store?
You can friend us on Facebook, Simply Casual Clothing Store. You also can find us on Twitter, Simply Casual, Your Style, Your Store. You can also find us at our website at simplycasual.net. And you can call these digits, 313-864-7979. We've had that famous number maybe 15 or more years. And give us a call, we'll take care of you. And our motto, if you look at our motto on the wall, it says live, love, serve. And that's kind of my life's motto. And I believe, you live in all life's abundance. And I think love is actually the cornerstone or the motivation by which people do things or not do things. And serve, which I think is the strongest component you can have, is to be able to serve humanity. Because if you're able to serve people, you can always make a lot of money. People want to be served. There's a lot of money in serving people. So, and I just think when you serve people, you're going to always have access to money.
Hey, not bad advice coming from Rufus Bartell. Thank you for having us here at Simply Casual, man.
Thank you. A pleasure interviewing with you guys, and best wishes on this project, and I know it's going to do well. Send me some copies so I can brag about you guys, the great work that you guys doing. So,
appreciate it.
Peace.